In the previous video, we have learned how to configure and apply the standard ACLs. With the standard ACL, we have encountered with one problem. Our original scenario was our HR department should be able to access the HR server over the internet, but other departments, for example, IT department, should not be able to access HR server. But in the standard ACL, we have a limitation because standard ACL work based on the source IP address. If we allow a source IP address here, it will be able to access both the server. If we deny access, it will not be able to access both of the servers. So we cannot limit one host to access one server and deny another server. If you need a full control, where you can give access to one host and you can make one destination reachable, even if they are in the same subnet, you can use extended ACL. Extended ACLs control the traffic based on source IP address, destination IP address, then port numbers, and then protocol. You can allow one protocol from one source and you can deny another protocol from the same source. Since you have all the control, there is a thumb rule that you apply the extended ACL nearest to the source. So if you want to learn more theoretical details, I will recommend you to visit my website packetmentor.com. In that website, you can easily access different topics. For example, today's topic is ACL. You can find it in the security section, and in the security you will go to the ACL and then you can study about the ACL. This section creates all the required information about the ACLs. And in the lab section, if you want to practice this lab topology, you can go to the lab section and this extended ACL walkthrough and you can get this lab. Now let's get back to our topology. Let me explain the topology one more time. This time we want our HR department able to access HR server, but should not be able to access the IT server. Similarly, IT department should be able to access the IT server, but should not be able to access the HR server. And one more condition, HR should have full access over internet. But in IT department, PC0, only PC0 shall have access to the internet. PC1 will not be able to access to the internet. So let's see how can we configure these. Same as the standard ACL, first we have to create the ACLs. Then we will apply it on the interface. These are the most common mistakes which are done by the students. Sometimes they create the ACL but they forget to apply the ACL. And secondly, sometimes they apply the ACL bit but they apply in the wrong direction, in and out. And even if they take care of the in and out, they apply it on the wrong interface. Best way is to learn the ACLs is to do more practice. You can grab the knowledge based on the practice only. It's not worth to see the video only or to read the topics only. ACL is a very critical concept and the most difficult topic reported by the students. The only thing which I figured out is they don't have enough practice. So let's start our lab. First of all, let's try to ping. Our network should be able to ping each other. So ping 8.8.8.8. Let's see our PC0 is able to access the web server or not. I'm just fast forwarding it. So yes, it is able to access. And now let's see, is it able to access the HR server as well or not? I'm just fast forwarding it. So yes. So now you can see there is full connectivity available. So one time we are going to check the HR server as well. Ping 8.8.8.8. So yes, so source in the HR department can access the web server and ping 10.0.0.pc.3 and host in the HR department is able to access that IT server. So let's now create the ACL. If you want to create the ACL enable, you need to go to the global configuration mode and then you will write IP access list extended and then you can give any number between 100 to 199. There is another extended range available of the extended ACL, but as I told you earlier, you can read about these things in the theoretical section and you can visit the packetmentor.com. We can use any number, so again I am going to use number 10 today. I cannot use 10 because 10 number is belongs to standard ACL. Since I have already selected the extended ACL, so I cannot use 10 here. So I'm going to use 100. Now I'm going to create the policy or I'm going to define the rules. And as I told you earlier, rules are read in the ACL from top to bottom. First of all, I'm going to read the rule about the IT department. So question mark. The question mark, you can see that we are going to use deny and permit. If you want to learn about the other commands, I will again recommend you to visit the website backendmentor.com. As I showed you earlier, you can read about the ACLs in detail. So I'm going to permit, then question mark. Now, are you going to permit a specific protocol, or if you want to permit all of the protocols, you will use the IP. Here, I'm going to use IP, then question mark. Then are you going to discuss about the source address, means a network, or you are going to allow a specific host, or you are going to allow any host. So I'm going to allow the network 192.168.10.0. In the ACLs, we use the wildcard mask. We do not use the subnet mask. Then the question mark about the destination. So destination is I'm going to allow host only 10.0.0.3 and question mark to enter it. So our policy is created. So now I'm going to create the second policy. Permit IP 192.168.20.0.0.0.255 host 10.0.0.2. If I don't write anything below, it will be implicit deny, which means everything other than fits in these rules will be denied. But we know that we want to allow our HR department to access to the web server. So we have to create the policy permit IP 192.168.20.0.0.0.255. Okay, I gave the wrong wildcard mask. Okay, question mark host 8.8.8.8, and then I want only PC0. Let me see the IP address of PC0. It is 10.2. Okay. Permit IP host 192.168.10.2 host 8.8.8.8. Exit to right. So now let's apply this ACL. As I told you, extended ACLs are applied near to the source. So this is the nearest point to the source and it will be applied to the in direction. So let me reach to the interface configuration mode. This is interface G01. Interface G0/1 IP access group 100 in and right. And now this access list is applied. So show IP access list. You can see that all four rules are applied. Now let's test our topology and our ACL. From PC0, we should be able to access the IT server, which is 10.3. Okay, it's right. We also should be able to web server, it's also right. And we should not be able to access HR server. So now you can see that we are able to access the HR server, which means there is a problem with the ACL. So let's see which rule is being hit from extended IP access list. You can see no rule is hit, which means that your ACL is not applied in the right way. So show run section access. So let's troubleshoot this problem. Our access list is not applied properly. So show run section address IP access group inside direction. Okay, yes. Since we were using the router on a stick, so our traffic is actually passing through the sub interfaces, not the main interface. That is why we are unable to pass the traffic. So in this case, we can either apply this ACL to the sub interfaces or in the outside direction of G00 interface. So let me remove config terminal interface G0/1 no IP access group 100 in. And now I'm going to interface G0/0 and I'm going to IP access group 100 and now outside direction and right. Now let's test our configuration. So our PC1 from IT department should be able to access the internet, but let's try first the deny. Now you can see that our ACL has started working, so it is not allowing PC from IT department to access the HR server, but our PC is able to access the IT server. And similarly, the PC is able to access the web server. So now let's test the PC2, PC1. PC1 should be able to access the IT server only. So ping 8.8.8.8 should fail. Ping 10.0.0.2 should fail. And ping 10.0.0.3 should work. Perfect. So let's try the PC2s in the similar way. It should be able to access the web server as well as the HR server, but it should not be able to access the IT server. Ping 10.0.0.2, 10.0.3. So yes, now you can see that our ACL is working properly. Now if you see show IP access list, now you will see that each rule has been hit by some traffic. 8 matches, 4 matches, 4 matches, and 4 matches. So this is how we can create an ACL, we can apply the ACL, and we see a problem. Luckily, we have created the sub interfaces and it's very unique. In our normal lab, we do not use the sub interfaces. So when we are teaching the ACLs, we note this thing. But now you can see that we have already troubleshoot our network. Please share your problem in the comment. I will create a separate video or I'll explain that in the comments. Tomorrow I'm going to explain how named ACL work and few of the how can we make the corrections in the ACLs. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.